Welcome to Coffee Break with Rachel V. Hill, taking a daily look at the biggest stories in Denver sports and interacting live with you, the Coffee Break fam. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of joe, and enjoy your coffee break. Here's your host, Rachel V. Hill.
It is a massive day for the University of Colorado because for the first time ever, both the men and women's team will play on the exact same day in the big dance. Welcome into Coffee Break. So excited to have you on this Friday. Plenty of good stuff because, of course, the big dance. I know you all were like, Rachel, how are you feeling about your Rams? I'm a little heartbroken, I won't lie. But to be honest, I didn't expect them to go much further anyway. So I'm excited to cheer on the Buffs just for the fact that it's a Colorado team. So don't worry, my alliance still is with the CSU Rams, and I am heartbroken, but I am excited for the Buffs. And such a legendary day. The fact that you have two teams in the big dance starting off on the exact same day is so cool. I wanted to give you guys just a little bit of information in case you haven't been paying a ton of attention to both the men's and women's teams for Colorado. And then Jake Shapiro is going to join us live from Indianapolis as, of course, the CU Buffs will get ready to take on the Florida Gators on the men's side later this afternoon. So it's going to be a good show. Welcome in. Get your popcorn because it's March Madness Day, baby. And you guys know I'm going to be eating a ton of it. I'm so excited for this weekend. But we'll first start off with the CU Buffs because they have had a crazy travel schedule. So we got to dive into this a little bit. Holy smokes. March 9th, they traveled to Oregon to take on Oregon State. They won that game 73-57. March 14th in Vegas for the Pac-12 tournament, was there for a few days. They beat Utah 72-58, beat Washington State 58-52, lost to Oregon 75-68. And then in that time frame, they still had to travel to Dayton, Ohio for the first four, where they beat Boise State 60-53. And now they are in Indianapolis set to take on the Florida Gators. That is a 2:30 Mountain Time tip. They have had a crazy travel schedule. This is one of those things with CSU that I felt like last night they just didn't have their legs. Like there had been too much travel for this team. The adrenaline had worn off after winning the first four games. It just wasn't able to continue on. That is my biggest fear for this CU men's team right now, is the fact that they have been going on the road nonstop. And yes, these young men, they're young, they're athletic, everything is good. But when you are emotionally going on a roller coaster, it can start to affect you. And they have been on an emotional roller coaster. I know Tad Boyle did a press conference after they beat Boise State, and he's like, I feel like we've been playing in a tournament since January, because it was like, you have to win this game, you have to win this game, etc. That's exhausting on a team. That's exhausting on your star players. That's exhausting on your head coach. So I'm really hoping that they're able to overcome any tiredness they're feeling. They've got their legs underneath them, and they can play just normal CU basketball. One player besides Cody Williams that you need to be paying attention to is KJ Simpson. He is fantastic. He is great with the boards. He does some insane assists that are just so much fun to watch. He had a career high 11 rebounds for the junior versus Boise State, 39 minutes, 19 points, 4 assists, 2 steals. Overall, KJ Simpson is one of those names that people, I feel like they just gravitate toward Cody Williams because, of course, he's talked about going into the NBA draft and how he's going to be such a high selection and everything of that major, I guess I feel like I should say. But essentially, KJ Simpson is one of those guys that is just a core piece of this team. And he may not be the most quote unquote flashy name, which I feel like Jake is going to yell at me here in just a little bit and be like, he's a flashy game. Like everybody up in Boulder knows him. But I feel like just normal basketball fans don't know exactly who KJ Simpson is. But I think he could be a serious threat today going up against Florida. It's going to be a great game. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I am nervous for the Buffs, like I said, just because I hope they can have their legs underneath them. But I do think that Tad Boyle will do a good job of preparing this team. I don't think we're going to see 11 points in the first half or anything like that. I think it's going to be a well-contested game, and I'm hoping that the Buffs are able to come out on top. Now, we will switch over to the women's side real quick because let's just be honest. Ever since the CU women beat LSU 92-78 in the first game of the year, everybody has had their eyes on what the CU Buffs were going to do. That was an incredible win, and it really sparked so much national attention that was being brought into Boulder. And then they kind of fell off a little bit, and everyone was starting to wonder, well, what's going to happen when it comes to the Buffs? Are they going to win the Pac-12 tournament? Are they going to struggle coming down the end? what's the tournament going to look like? They're taking on Drake today. I do have them advancing. I actually have them advancing for the next 2 rounds, and I think they are going to meet up in the Sweet 16 against Iowa and Caitlin Clark, which would be an insane game and would be so much fun to watch. We all remember last year when I believe it was last year, yeah, when those two met up, and it was just crazy. I think we're going to see a rematch of that game. But this year, this team, there's something about it. They got this like underdog mentality, right? They can go up and they can beat the very best. When you go up and you can beat LSU week 1, it's like, well, you can do absolutely anything. Obviously, national champs, all of these things. You can do anything, and I'm really excited to see what CU will actually look like this afternoon. That game is at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time in Manhattan, Kansas. Like I said, they're going to be taking on the Drake Bulldogs. I think that they're going to advance. I think it's going to be a relatively easy win for them. Of course, March Madness, you never know what can happen, but you really have to pay attention to one of their star players, and that's Jalen Sherrod. Averages 13 points per game. And you might be like, okay, well, that's not a ton. You're not wrong. It's not a ton. But where she really is beneficial is being an assist machine. She gets the balls to her teammates. She allows them to make points. She's great off the boards. She's also good at 67 total steals on the year. That's really impressive right there. She likes to be able to attack the defender, be an attacking defender, and she's really fun to watch when she does it. So I'm excited to see kind of how this graduate student goes into the big dance. And I'm just hoping for both of these teams that the moment does not get too big. That's the hardest thing about the NCAA tournament is the moment gets too big. So as we say that, I am so excited to welcome in our very own Jake Shapiro. Jake Shapiro, my friend, how are you? I'm so excited for you. First of all, you're in Indianapolis. How excited I mean, you obviously went to see you, so I just want you to be a fan for a quick second. Like, how pumped are you to be at March Madness with your alma mater?
Well, Rachel, if you remember last year on Coffee Break, I was at March Madness. We were live, and you saw just how excited I was just to be at March Madness, the NCAA tournament in Denver for the first time. Now I'm at March Madness, the NCAA tournament, and my team, my school, my hometown team is in it. I'm kind of freaking out. I've never been to a Buffs tournament game before. I wanted to go to a couple in the past, never worked out. This trip I was able to make happen. So just really excited and really excited to see these guys play. KJ Simpson's been one of the best Buffs in recent memory, and I'm excited to hopefully send him out on the right note, and hopefully we're going to see him past Indianapolis.
I was just talking about KJ and kind of going through, who he is a player and what he's brought to it. I feel like everybody talks about Cody Williams because he's going to go super high in the draft. He could possibly be the number 1 pick. Like, there's been so many headlines with him, but I really feel like this Buff team almost runs through KJ Simpson.
Yeah, I mean, Cody didn't score in their tournament win in the first 4, and he really hasn't been part of the team since he's come back from his last injury, a serious part of the rotation. It's been unfortunate. He's battled injuries. He's probably come back a little earlier than he should have, which I give him props for doing so, but he just has not looked great on the court. KJ Simpson is the best player in terms of a college player on this team. He is one of the all-time Buffaloes. He has a lot of, he's got his name all over his school history, school record book, stuff like that. And he authored what was a 25-win season by the Colorado Buffaloes to this point, which is the most wins in a single season in CU men's basketball history. So he's meant a lot. And Tristan Da Silva, also a senior, has done a lot for this program as well. But I think KJ kind of continues that guard lineage that Colorado has had since Alec Burks and Corey Higgins that ran through Spencer Dinwiddie and Derek White, and now has passed from McKinley Wright to KJ Simpson.
Okay, so Jake, you and I have both experienced heartbreak. My Rams obviously lost yesterday. I should have known better than to bet against them, or to bet for them. But you've also experienced heartbreak. So how are you feeling about today's game? Are you like, I don't know if they can do it and move to the round of 32, or are you feeling confident?
Well, I sit on the couch with my wife watching the first 4 game, and I said, I don't want to go to wherever they're going. I know they're going to lose the next game. I don't really like this team this year. They're not the most enjoyable team. I'm frustrated with this team. I finished writing my story for denversports.com. She's like, I booked you a flight to Indianapolis. You're going. I'm like, okay, thank you, wife. With that said, right now, everything's cake. Everything's fine because this team, I did not expect the way the season has gone to win an NCAA tournament game or go to the round of 32. When we first came into this season, I thought this was a Sweet 16 team, but they just have not played to that level. I would love to see them get a win today, but I'm definitely not expecting it. I'm not, betting on it. But some people I've talked to, some people I'm with, really like this matchup for the Colorado Buffaloes, and they feel like they've got some good advantages all around the court. That was just a couple of the coaches that walked past me.
Nice.
Yeah.
We love that. That's why we love doing live shots. Real quick, give me your lowdown on when your ticket back home is. Have you booked that yet? If they do advance, are you staying out there? Give me that lowdown real quick.
Let's see, Rachel. 1, 2, 3, 4 trains, 2 Ubers, 3 hours in the car, 3 hours on the plane, and I'm here in Indianapolis, as the commercial, the Samuel L. Jackson commercial is. In Indianapolis right now. So I came a long way here. If the Buffs make it with a chance to go to the Sweet 16, you bet your bottom dollar I will be back here on Sunday. I'll find a way to make it happen. So I'm not supposed to come home till Monday. You can tell Marilat, our boss, that I'm missing our team meeting on Monday. We are all out for the Buffs. And I have not looked at flights from Chicago to Albany in case the women advance the Sweet 16. And I'm just like, well, I'm already in Chicago. I could just go to Albany.
Well, I'm so glad that you say this because I was about to bring up the women's team. Obviously, this is a really exciting day for the University of Colorado. Both teams playing in the big dance on the same exact day. What's your gut feeling telling you about J.R. Payne's group?
They should be able to get past Drake. They're a far better team. The men have finished their season super strong. The women have just had a brutal end to their season. They played some really good teams down the stretch in Pac-12 play. This Katie Linebacker girl, the top player for Drake, Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year, they've got, kind of scares me. She's like, with Caitlin Clark, one of the only 2 players in the country accumulating the numbers that she does. And then they've got the Missouri Valley Conference Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. So this is actually a really strong 12 seed they're running into. And then, as you know, as someone who's close to someone who went to Kansas State and likes the Kansas State Wildcats, the Buffaloes would be facing the Kansas State Wildcats. Yep. At Kansas State in this 4th trip to the Sweet 16. I will say J.R. Payne led the Buffaloes to a win at Duke in the second round of the tournament last year against Duke. So this is familiar territory for the Buffs. I actually like them still to get to the Sweet 16 and match up with Iowa and Caitlin Clark next week, and potentially Angel Reese and LSU in the Elite Eight if they get that far. That would be insane. But yeah, the Buffs got a tough end of the draw. Drake's a good team, and then you're gonna have to play Kansas State on the road for your lives.
Yep.
It's gonna be tough, but I like the Buffs as a better team versus both of those teams, if that makes sense.
For sure. Who do you have winning each bracket, and how's your bracket looking?
My bracket, I suggest you check it out on denversports.com because it'll make you feel better. It'll make you feel better about your picks because Jake Shapiro gave one piece of advice to everyone he knew this year. The Mountain West is so good. Bank on the Mountain West teams winning all at least one game. I guarantee you every Mountain West team will win at least a game. So you can tell how my bracket's going just based off that statement alone. I had UConn winning the men, and I have South Carolina winning the women. So I'm very, very risque with my picks there. But unlike you, Rachel, who got a little bit crazy with their brackets, I will say. I watched your bracket show.
Thank you.
I was smooth, but I have the New Mexico Lobos in the Elite Eight. I've got some crazy picks, too. I've got St. Mary's in the Sweet 16. Like, I got a little wild.
We might as well make it, like, as crazy as you want it to, right? Everybody who picked Kentucky to go into the Final Four, they're regretting that decision. You never know what can happen in March Madness. Jake, before I let you go, give me a quick turnaround. Show us the area you're at because this is such an exciting time.
We've got all the Pacers stuff right here.
Right.
Pascal Siakam, Tyrese Halliburton, they're star players. This is the entrance to Gainbridge Fieldhouse. If I walk down the street a little bit, more Purdue fans. Purdue plays the game after Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Just down this street is where Lucas Oil Stadium is, where the Indianapolis Colts play, and the scouting combine is. There's this guy on a crazy unicycle. Look at this. Oh, my God.
Is it raining there too? What the heck?
Yeah, I've been standing in the rain for coffee break, by the way. It's been I'm like wet.
I appreciate
but I'm
you.
making it happen. Of course. Anything for coffee break. Yeah, I haven't actually walked around the stadium to this side, but yeah, we're in downtown Indianapolis. And, Marquette plays right now while this is being
Yep.
live. And Purdue plays later, and then TCU plays even later tonight. So a lot of Marquette fans, because Milwaukee is only about 4 hours from here, and West Lafayette, where Purdue is 45 minutes from here. So
Yep.
it's like Purdue's outnumbering people like 20-1. And yeah, we're again downtown Indy.
I love it. All right, my friend. Well, you go enjoy it. I hope this experience is super magical for you. They're able to get a win and then get inside, get dry, get your credential, and get set.
Yep. I'm going to go enjoy my favorite college basketball player in the country, Oso Iguodaro of Marquette. Best name, Oso Iguodaro. I hope the Nuggets draft him. Last year it was Julian Strother was my guy. Oso, my guy this year.
Oso, we love it. Jake, have a wonderful time. Thank you for taking the time to hang out with us. All right, there is Jake Shapiro, an absolute joy. He was so excited. You can tell the energy. That's why I always love, if you can be live on the scene, I love bringing anybody in. That way you guys can feel the excitement too. It's so cool to see. But as always, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Go Buffs. Hopefully they're able to get a win, both sides of it, women and men. And we will see you back here on 12 p.m. on Monday. And if not, 10 a.m. for Denver Sports Daily on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Get back to work. Actually, get back to watching March Madness. Bye.